Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Westworld. This is Season 3, Episode 3, and yeah, we're setting up for this major conflict between Maeve and Dolores. Maeve wants to possibly find a way back to her daughter, who is in the forge where only Dolores knows the location of. Meanwhile, Bernard and Sirach both want to work with her, or Sirach feels like he wants to use her to go against Dolores because Dolores is this huge threat to the human race. Maeve's not totally on board for that either, but we'll see how that continues to work out. Bernard's looking for Liam, and we haven't seen William yet this entire season. Curious about what was going on there when his host daughter was testing him for fidelity in the post-credit scenes of last season, so curious about that. And yeah, want to see what happened with Dolores and Caleb at the end too of the first episode of this season. But yeah, excited to continue. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. Who is she?
Who am I? I remember who I am.
Tell us who you are.
Now let me show you who you need to pretend to be. Charlotte Hale. She tried to kill all of us. But why must I be her? Because I trust you. So we all have our role to play.
Whoa. It's a mech?
They have 38% controlling shares. That's the largest single entity.
What?
We've effectively been bought out.
Who's behind this?
This is Sirach.
Charlotte? You okay?
I'm fine. Whoever the fuck it is, dig them out.
No, don't move. You hear me? Hear me?
What happened?
She was like this when I found her.
Doesn't make sense.
What is it?
Look at her platelet count. She has none. Cortisol or adrenaline? I don't even know how she's alive.
Is he the only one who knows what he's doing?
Police override. We have a police escort?
They're pulling us over.
High value
Those cops have been bought. Whatever they want, you go with them and they will kill you.
Call the cops.
They are the cops.
And they won't mind waiting for a uniform patrol to back them up.
Wow.
Call the police.
Oh man. You are in so deep now. His mind is being blown right now.
Caleb Nichols.
Not anymore. You're a good man, Caleb. The less you know about me, the better.
Why did she cut herself that way, in that way?
Engarod Sirach. He's behind the hostile takeover.
Oh, got a name.
The man's a black hole. He's completely invisible.
Jake, how the fuck did you get up here?
He might hear.
Who? I didn't fucking ask you to be here.
Yes, you did. When you forgot to pick up our son. Again.
She didn't know about Charlotte's child. Oh damn.
Sorry, buddy, my meeting ran late. Were you scared?
Not really. Tommy was at the park. He let me pet his dog.
Where the fuck are you? I can't wait any longer. I'm coming to you.
Figured it was her. But what's the problem?
What's wrong? Who am I?
Dang.
You know who you are.
Oh, dang. What is wrong? What's going on with her? This reminds me of
You've hurt yourself.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I can't stop.
You're talking like one of them. They don't have impulse control. We do.
Like she wants to cut into her skin and rip me out of her head.
So she's in there somehow?
No one knows you like I do. No one knows me like you.
It almost feels like
I'll have some new clothes sent out.
she's taking care of a child. Who knows her better than... What?
Caleb Nichols?
Mm-mm.
Just asking.
Guns asking. Contacts? That do
And I
what?
need information on someone.
Name?
Nichols. Caleb Nichols.
Turned your drip off.
Drip.
Waste. People will pay a fortune for a military grade one.
Oh!
I'm only gonna ask you this one more time.
He can't even respond. He's
Where is she?
right here.
I'm right here.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Dolores.
Well, Dolores.
What the hell are you?
Nice to finally meet you.
I love you so much, buddy. The night that I left, you wanted me to sing you a song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
School called. You're running late.
Nice and slow. Would you like to see Sandy again? Yeah?
Go on, get your things, bud.
Oh.
There are a lot of things that you can fake in this world. Most people don't want to see the predator inside. Seeing you with Nathan, seeing you touch his little hand, you reminded me of something.
She killed him.
You're not the only predator here.
Deserved it. And he let us have the dog, right? That's totally what happened.
Look what Mommy got you.
Your spot.
How do you know?
How did you know?
He'll take a cheeseburger and a strawberry shake, whipped cream, no nuts, 2
That
cherries.
sounds good.
Nothing for me, thanks.
You've been watching me.
Not me. But someone, something has. Go on, read it.
I don't know what to do with my mom.
I'll be right back. Wait here.
She has to come back. It's been a long time.
Yeah, the fuck.
Is this some kind of joke?
You're angry.
No,
No?
I am enraged. How do you know every detail of my worst fucking memory?
A machine they call Rehoboam.
Robo.
The founders of this machine vetted everyone's raw data long before there were privacy laws.
So it tells them who I am.
It's not about who you are, Caleb. It's about who they'll let you become.
And she's radicalized.
This is where you kill yourself.
What?
Given your history of depression, your mother's mental illness, your proficiency with firearms, and your fondness for the ocean, you'll never be more than a construction worker or a petty criminal because that's all they'll let you be.
We talked about this in the first commentary, how this perfect world is utter crap.
Why didn't you tell those men about me before? They were gonna kill you. Most people aren't hard to predict, but you surprised me. When you were at work, you would kill the signal to see how people would react. I'm gonna do the same thing.
You want to know why I didn't tell those guys about you? You are the first real thing that has happened to me in a long time.
And she's gained a human ally. whoever's in that body might get lost in her.
Your number cannot be completed as done. Password accepted.
I want to meet.
Whoa. The woman who met with Liam.
J'espère qu'on va pouvoir être amis.
You work for him?
As do you, Charlotte. Seems like you've been playing your role maybe a little too well.
The situation has been challenging.
Oh. He controlled Charlotte to begin with.
I've been told exactly where the key is. In the mind of a host called Dolores. Time is a luxury, my dear. Of which you have very little.
Whoa. Trippy. Very trippy. Wow. Seeing whoever is inside Hale pretending to be her is really fascinating because she and Dolores don't have all the details, all the data on Hale. And for the first 55 minutes of the episode, it's something that Hale Bot has to overcome. She recognizes Jake. He's like, okay, make out with him. He's clearly there for a booty call, which is, I think, what she assumes at first. Wait, why can't we be too loud? Oh, shit, I have a kid? Because it seems like she didn't know about that. I guess she kept that a secret for some reason or I don't know. It just never came up. Interesting that Dolores didn't see it in her file. But yeah, it's really interesting because with each new thing we learn, it feels like the host inside Hale continues to calibrate. Actually, even early on when they don't know who they are, when they're just booted up inside Hale, and they need like a little nudging from Dolores to remember who she is. It's like Mufasa style, like remember who you are. Whoever is in Hale, though, is really, really good at adapting on the fly. Probably has bulk apperception cranked pretty high, which could be a clue if Dolores hadn't been the one building her. She could have cranked anybody's bulk apperception up to the highest point possible. She could have pulled the dumbest host mind from Westworld and just changed that parameter when she placed them in Hale's body. I'm still wondering who exactly is in Hale's body. I feel like we're led to believe it's Teddy, but I don't think it's him. But if it is Teddy, are we in for a woman with woman like romance? Again, how does gender identity work if you're a host being placed in a host with like Teddy was created as a man. I mean, technically, do they not have sex because they're I don't even know. I don't know. But then they're also programmed with like societal expectations and all that. But with whoever is in Hale's body, forgetting who they are and disappearing into her life, there are so many implications there. If it is Teddy, does the thought of his identity change? I mean, Hale cutting herself, the host cutting herself, has to do with whoever is in there not feeling like they belong in their body. But that could be for a whole host of different reasons. No pun intended. Like race, gender, or the fact that they're just in an actual body that belongs to somebody else, or all of them. But yeah, if we do get Dolores and Hale in a relationship, I do know that Tessa Thompson is actually attracted to men and women, even though, I mean, I know she doesn't use the label of bisexual. And for some reason, I get a bisexual vibe from Evan Rachel Wood. I don't know why. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But if their characters were romantic, like together romantically, and it is Teddy in there, would Dolores call her Teddy? Or, I mean, they purposefully don't have Dolores say the host's name, or we'd be able to tell. It's an interesting thing they're playing with here. But yeah, there's Dolores, Hale, 3 more Pearls, and Bernard. And one of those Pearls is now Liam's security chief guy, I believe. I don't think it could be anybody else. But so we have 2 more. And again, we never actually saw Dolores take Teddy's Pearl out of the casing. So it's possible she has 2 more Pearls and Teddy. That is, if Teddy isn't already in Charlotte Hale. Or actually, it could be, and it still have another. I don't know. Anyway, I'm wondering who she brought with her like who would be most useful to her. I mean, Clementine and Angela would be cool, but Angela blew herself up. I guess maybe she could print another one of her. I don't know if that's because the cradle was destroyed, right? Yeah, so that's where they were keeping host backups, right? Yeah, okay. And it might be survivable though, that explosion, since Maeve has once survived like being incinerated. I don't know when she would have time to recover Clementine's though. Plus she was corrupted as well with the ability to get hosts to attack each other. That would be a pretty powerful pearl to have if she was able to get her hands on it, even though there aren't that many hosts that get to turn on other people anymore. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, Dolores, Hale, 3 more pearls, and Bernard. Right. But yeah, whoever is in Halebot is sent in undercover and has to deal with just so much at once. Because yeah, whoever's in there is just suffering a lot, having to undertake the identity of Hale, who had them all nearly wiped out. They're losing their sense of themselves. And she also has to deal with this like covert takeover of the company, which Serac is something else. I mean, there's a reveal at the end that while Charlotte Hale, who the Hale bot, was working against Serac, trying to figure out Serac, it turns out that Hale is the one who enabled him and has been the mole the entire time. She was like trying to root out a mole. It's like, I will find out who it is, and it's like, oh, it's me. But why? Why would Hale want to do that exactly? Why would she want to work with Serac and give up controlling interest of Delos? And yeah, I wonder if even though Charlotte Hale was their enemy, if the host mind in Hale has actually started empathizing with her by living her life. Specifically with Hale's son Nathan, I think that is confusing her the most into forgetting who she is and remembering and just living more of Hale's life. That first scene where she first sees him and talks to him, whoever's in there starts feeling for this child even though it's not theirs. Don't think I didn't notice that line of him asking her if he can see an elephant and her saying there aren't any anymore. How many years of this is this in the future? They killed all the elephants? Ugh. Or climate change, or they hunted? I can't even tell which it is. But yeah, the host feels something when Nathan says, "You're not my mommy, you don't love me." And I mean, the kid doesn't know that it's a robot, but he means it in a different way. But yeah, the host has a hard time separating who they are from who they're pretending to be. And then with the pedophile with the dog, I was like, I thought her son was talking about a kid whose dog Nathan played with, but it was a freaking adult who was creeping on him really, really hard, being a pedophile, being just super predatory. But it's interesting that she killed him, because I mean, the world is better off without him, but I'm specifically thinking about why the host inside Hale decided to kill him. Like, if it was a real Charlotte, she would have done everything possible to destroy this guy, but the host inside Hale is not really Hale, so why did they do that? Because in a world with so much technology, the chances of her getting caught and causing extreme scrutiny are pretty high, and Nathan isn't really her son, so it could signify her, whoever's in there, sinking into the role of Hale even more. It could be she hates people like this predator, this child predator. Like, thinking back to the season premiere, Dolores empathized with that rich guy's second wife because they were both once prisoners. So maybe whoever this host is sees Nathan being taken advantage of and unknowingly, and can understandably empathize with that in a very because it's happened to all the hosts. They've been taken advantage of before they gain sentience. So there's maybe it's part of that, partially that, and also a mixture of sinking so deep into this Charlotte Hale role that she feels that she sees Nathan as her son. I think it also has to do with just seeing that recording of Hale and how in love with how much she loved her son made Halebot just empathize more and know how to play the role better, and yeah, just disappears into it. Also similar to the way she's possibly empathizing with with Nathan as somebody who's taken advantage of is the way Dolores empathizes with Caleb. Like, she sees the world crushing down on him, and because he helped her at possibly great personal cost, I think she genuinely feels for him on some level, but she also knows how to manipulate him, radicalize him. And Caleb's a good guy. We saw that he knew those were dirty cops who were just there to take her or take her out, and he did everything in his power to protect her because he believed it was the right thing to do. And it's interesting, she asks his name before telling him he needs to change it, instead of just telling him he needs to disappear. I think because she wants to find out who he is and how she can use him. But like, this is exactly what he would want to do as well. Like, if he really knew the truth, even without her manipulation, he'd want to rail against the system. She just, she knew he would be in trouble, but let him roam around a bit first before saving him at the very last second. It's I feel like she's pulling the strings at every single moment. And back to what I said about Rehoboam after the first episode, it's meant to create a perfect world. But I asked back then, for who? Because any system created by humans will have biases. Two ultra-rich white men creating what they think is a perfect world probably won't take into account the people at the fringe. It'll probably look at human beings as resources to be used and drained with zero compassion, trying to squeeze out every last ounce of productivity that they can. And that is the case here. They just know that Caleb's going to eventually commit suicide, and they just write it off. They're just like, okay, like, this is what's going to happen. And yeah, I can understand wanting to revolt against this situation. I'm curious what Dolores has planned for Caleb. It's because she brought five pearls with her. She brought Bernard back for I don't know what reason, and yet she's putting her trust in someone she doesn't. I mean, I guess she knows him, but someone who she's never really interacted with before. So it'll be interesting to see what she has in store. I forgot to talk about Hale going back to Dolores and how tender Dolores seems to be with Charlotte. No one knows you like I do. No one knows me like you do. So who could that be? Like, I said earlier that it doesn't seem like Teddy in there, but who could it be besides him who would know each other so well? The thing is, I don't think she'd trust him with this assignment, because if she reverted him to before she changed his aggressiveness in the last season, like, she already knew she couldn't trust him to be ruthless, and so she wouldn't trust him to be able to do this. And if she didn't revert him, he might just kill himself again, right? So I don't know. Who could it be? Who knows her that well? Her father knows her well too, but it definitely did not feel like him in there. And I feel like they cut. I don't know what happened to him exactly. Hale gets the name of Sirach to Dolores, though. Sirach, the one trying to buy out this company. So try as he might to keep his identity a secret, Dolores still got it. She tells Hale to find the mole and kill them. Turns out Hale is the mole. That's an awesome moment. It's like a complete blindside. Means that she was secretly trying to help him buy out the company, so don't know exactly why just yet. But yeah, Hale, like, this is the reason, their closeness is the reason it came. I was thinking about if there's a relationship blooming here. But yeah, Hale asks Dolores to stay, and she says, "You belong to me. You know that, right?" And I mean, the only one who would be okay with that kind of language would be Teddy, right? But it doesn't feel like him. I don't know. But yeah, we got a lot of speculation left. We have 5 more episodes. This is a shorter season, so looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. But yeah, I'm gonna give this an 8.5. We still haven't seen William anywhere. I'm guessing next episode maybe. But yeah, looking forward to that. Leave a like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe. We'll have more Westworld up soon, every week on Wednesdays in the morning. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.